Hello students, I am Professor Navneet Kaur from EC Department, SIRT College. Today I will be taking lecture on subject digital communication. The topic which I will be discussing here will be sampling theorem. The sampling process is significant in communication system because it provides the basis for transmitting analog signals by use of digital techniques. Sampling of the signals is the fundamental operation in signal processing. A continuous time signal is converted to discrete time signal by sampling process. Now, the statement of the sampling theorem is given as a band-limited signal having no frequency components higher than FM Hertz is completely described by its sample values at uniform intervals less than or equal to 1 upon 2 FM seconds apart. And when we are considering the statement in frequency domain, it is defined as a band-limited signal having no frequency component higher than FM Hertz may be completely recovered from the knowledge of its samples taken at the rate of at least 2 FM samples per second. Now we will move on to the analysis and the proof of this theorem. Now here in this slide, we can see a message signal FT. This message signal is having no frequency component higher than FM Hertz. Now we can see the spectrum of the signal, which is represented by F omega. Here we can see the spectrum extends from 0 to omega m. That means there is no frequency component higher than FM for the signal Ft. Now for sampling, I will multiply this message signal by a train of impulses which I have represented by delta Tt. Subscript T means that the period of this impulse signal is given as capital T. Now, we have already done in a previous lecture that if we want to find out the spectrum of this train of impulses, it will be again a train of impulses where the separation between two consecutive impulses will be omega naught, and the amplitude of each impulse will be given by omega naught. That means the train of impulses will have spectrum in the form of again a train of impulses. Now for sampling the signal, the message signal Ft will be multiplied by the train of signals in time domain. When Ft will be multiplied by delta Tt, we will get the sample signal which is represented by Fst. Here we can see the samples of the signal which is Ft, and we have represented this sample signal as Fst. Here there is a train of impulses whose amplitude varies according to the message signal. Therefore, all these impulses will represent the samples of the message signal. Now, we will see what will be the Fourier transform of this FST so that we can analyze the spectrum of this FST. Now, we have already explained that FST is given by product of Ft and the train of impulses delta Tt. Now we know the frequency convolution theorem. According to frequency convolution, if we will multiply two signals in time domain, then their Fourier transform will be convolved. Here, FST is given by multiplication of Ft and delta Tt. Now, if I want to find out its Fourier transform, it will be given by the convolution of the respective Fourier transform. F omega is the Fourier transform of Ft, and omega naught delta omega is the Fourier transform of delta Tt. And this symbol is for convolution. And according to the theorem, we will have 1 upon 2 pi along with it. Now, this omega naught is constant, so we can take it out. So, omega naught upon 2 pi is given by 1 upon t. So, I will represent here 1 upon t. Now, in the bracket, I will have convolution of f omega and delta omega naught omega. Now, delta omega naught omega, it represents the train of impulses where the impulses are located at omega is equal to 0, omega is equal to omega naught, omega is equal to 2 omega naught, omega is equal to minus omega naught, and so on till omega is equal to say minus omega naught and so on. Now, if I'll write it in generalized form, it will be given as summation delta omega minus m omega naught, where m is given by minus infinity to plus infinity, and the values of m are integers. Now, according to the equation, FST 1 upon T, F omega convolution with delta omega naught omega. Here I will write the general expression for delta omega naught omega. So the general expression for delta omega naught omega is given by summation m is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta omega minus m omega naught. So here we can see the expression. Now we can write this expression as 1 upon t summation m is equal to minus infinity to infinity f omega in convolution with delta omega minus m omega naught. Now we already know whenever a signal is convolved with a shifted impulse function, it will give rise to the shifted signal itself. So here I can see that the delta omega minus m omega naught represent a shifted impulse function, and f omega is the message signal, is the Fourier transform of the message signal. Now when f omega will be convolved with delta omega minus m omega naught, it will give f omega minus m omega naught and 1 upon t and summation m is equal to minus infinity to infinity. Now, if I will draw this expression, this Fourier transform represents the Fourier transform of the sample signal FST. Now, if I'll see Fs omega, I'll see that f omega will repeat after every omega naught, and where the maximum amplitude of f omega is given by 1 upon t. Now I can see here in this figure we had original f omega as this form, which extended from 0 to omega m. Here also we can see f omega is 0 to omega m. Now when according to Fs omega, this f omega will repeat itself after omega naught. So here I can see that this omega, f omega, it is getting repeated after every omega naught. Here I can see the same spectrum at omega naught, at 2 omega naught, minus omega naught, minus 2 omega naught, and so on. Now, here, if I want to recover my original message signal whose spectrum is given by f omega, then I will use a low pass filter of cutoff frequency plus minus omega m, so that this spectrum which is given under the dotted line will be selected and the rest of the signals at frequencies will be rejected. So I will recover my message signal. But if I want to recover faithfully my message signal, then it is necessary that these spectrums should not overlap with each other. Now, for this, there is a perfect requirement that the frequency range from 0 to omega naught, it should not be less than 2 omega naught. Here we can see from this spectrum that 0 to omega m, and here also this is omega m. So when I will take both these ranges, it will be 2 omega m. So that these spectrums should not overlap, there is a condition that omega naught should not be less than 2 omega m. So I will say that f omega will repeat periodically without overlapping, provide omega naught should be greater than equal to 2 omega m. Omega naught is given by 2 pi by t and omega m is given by 2 pi fm. So I have substituted in place of omega m and omega naught. Now 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled. 1 upon t will be greater than equal to 2 fm. Or if I'll take reciprocal of this, so 1 upon t will give t and this inequality will be reversed, so less than equal to 1 upon 2 fm second. That means if I want that I should recover my message signal again, then the time interval between two consecutive samples should be less than equal to 1 upon 2 fm second. And if I write it in terms of frequency, then 1 upon t will be given by the sampling frequency, which is f naught. So here f naught should be greater than equal to 2 fm. That means if I want to recover my message signal again from sampled signal, then the sampling frequency should be greater than equal to 2 FM samples per second. So here we have seen in the spectrum of the sample signal that when f naught is greater than equal to 2 omega m 2 fm, then only I can recover my original spectrum from 0 to omega m by using a low pass filter. Now this is the statement for sampling theorem which we have already derived here. Now coming to the Nyquist interval. Nyquist interval is the maximum sampling interval. Here we can see in the expression that t should be less than equal to 1 upon 2 fm second. T less than equal to, that means 1 upon 2 fm second is the maximum value of the sampling interval. So if I say the maximum sampling interval, it is given by t is equal to 1 upon 2 fm second, and this value of t is known as Nyquist interval. Similarly, we have seen that f naught, that is sampling interval, should be greater than equal to 2 fm samples per second. That means this value of f is the minimum value of the sampling frequency, and this minimum value of the sampling frequency, it is defined as Nyquist rate. So here in this figure, we can see the spectrum of the sample signal. One is at the Nyquist rate and another is at the frequency lower than the Nyquist rate. Now in figure A, we can see when the signal is sampled at the Nyquist rate. Here we can see that the successive samples do not overlap with each other. So here the signal is sampled at the Nyquist rate. But here we can see that the successive samples, they overlap with each other, and we can see that here f naught is less than 2 fm, and thus we can say that the signal is sampled at less than Nyquist rate. Now this is all for today's lecture.